Why was Promising Young Woman so divisive? I made a video a couple of days ago talking about how Carey Mulligan was one of the Bennett sisters in Pride and Prejudice 2005, and a lot of people got mad because I didn't include Promising Young Woman in her oeuvre. And I said, well, the movie's kind of divisive. I didn't want people fighting in my comments, which then spawned people fighting in my comments. This is my official take. 20 seconds in, I'll say it at the top of the video. I liked Promising Young Woman. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really well done. But there is still this element where I have eyes. I was on Letterboxd. I am on film Twitter. Like, a lot of people don't like this movie. One of the strengths of this movie was in sort of upending our expectations and casting these famous Hollywood nice guys as like evil bad men, right? So like Schmidt, Max Greenfield from New Girl, Chris Lowell from Private Practice, right? Alison Brie, Connie Britton, Adam Brody, Bo Burnham, all of these people that are like beloved and usually play these very sweet, nice characters, and like turning that on its head as a criticism for the nice guy epidemic, right? This idea that there are very, very entitled, and not this idea, this like reality, that there are very, very angry, entitled men who expect women to like hook up with them and date them because they are nice and not aggressive alpha bros, right? It's interesting. I would like to see sort of an analysis of this where the nice guy ideal from 20 years ago compared with like incel culture now, where a lot of these ideas, I talk a lot about incels on this account, a lot of these ideas of like all you have to do is like hang around women and be nice to women have sort of completely gone out the window. And now there's an element of intense entitlement where it's like I shouldn't have to work on myself. I should get girls just because I want them. A big cultural shift. Anyway, all of these guys were very sweet and very kind, and then they were still assaulters. Another strength was that it used nostalgia to like again lull us into this false sense of security and sort of envelop us in this blanket of like nothing bad can really happen to Carey Mulligan's character because we know how the story goes, right? Again, I liked the movie. Before you get mad at me, one of the criticisms of the movie was that it didn't go far enough, right? It was this weird tension where Carey Mulligan was like terrorizing these men, but not actually like hurting them or like doing things that would have leaned this more in the horror genre. And I understand that Emerald Fennell wanted this to be a little bit more of a like a satire or a critique of nice guy culture and like SA culture, especially in colleges. But at the same time, there was this weird sort of counterbalance where it didn't go far enough in either direction and it felt kind of muddled for a lot of people. I also think that there is a cultural reticence around vengeance narratives, which is why I think they softened this movie a little bit. I don't know if it was a directorial mandate or a writing mandate or what happened, but I do feel like there was a version of this script where she was like actually, punishing these men in a different way than she ended up doing in the movie. And I feel like because this country is so conservative and because there is room for the good for her narrative, but again, that would have made it a horror movie. I can see a criticism being that less people would see the movie if this was a horror movie about her punishing these men and therefore soften the blow of it, right? Like the blow is that her and her friend were both normal girls. They were normal women who were transformed by grief and pain and rage and like, the disrespect and the bodily harm and like having their body autonomy taken away from them in this like very essential way, right? There's this fear that like if it was a horror movie, it would then be like, oh, this angry girl, this angry woman, and not necessarily convey the message in the way that Emerald wanted to convey it. And again, that's me spitballing. I don't know if that's what happened, but I can assume, knowing what I know about culture and movies and the way that people are on the internet, people getting mad. I do not side with the incels. I do not side with the nice guys. I think that this is a good movie. I think that a lot of people were kind of saddened by the ending. I wasn't. I thought that the ending fit the darkness of the world and the darkness of the story very well. But again, this is art and your mileage may vary, right? Like us, the people who like the movie are always going to be up against the very loud contingent of people who didn't like the movie. I don't think the ending weakens the movie. Ultimately, in my opinion, and I can only speak for myself, like I always say, I'm just a guy with the phone. I do wish that this was like 10 times darker and I wish that she had gone there, but I understand why they didn't.